We dug for months, years, an eternity. And we were rewarded with madness.
Ah, the Antique Roadshow is in town, so I can potentially get another antiquarian. Though we're already full up, and I don't feel like giving up anyone we already have in exchange for an antiquarian, so I'm gonna pass on this for now. Hello, everyone. Science Viking here, and it's time to continue our playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. Let's see if the Nomad Wagon has anything too impressive. Let's see, the debuff stone is pretty good, but I think we already have a few of those. Scouting Whistle is interesting, but I don't usually let the torch level get that low. Increased Trap Disarm isn't bad, but honestly, heroes pretty rarely fail to disarm traps. Let's look into upgrading our heroes. Let's see. Let's see, I think I'm going to teach Vastel If It Bleeds and Adrenaline Rush, and then upgrade Wicked Hack. And then, let's see, what abilities do I want her to have equipped? I think I'll drop Yawp for Adrenaline Rush, and I'll drop Bleed Out for If It Bleeds. Alright. Let's see, Clarinel is busy. I think I might want to use the Arablest. Let's see, Battlefield Bandage, that's pretty nice. Rallying Flare. Ooh. Remove Stun and Marked. And also can reduce stress, in addition to increasing the torch level. That's quite nice. And then Blind Fire, which she can do in any position. And then Sniper Shot, Suppressing Fire, Sniper's Mark. Let's see, Sniper Shot deals extra damage to Marked. Let's add Sniper's Mark. And I'd say I'm satisfied with that. And who else do I have who I can send who could potentially be a front runner? Bowen. Let's see about upgrading Bowen. He's pretty well upgraded. Well, let's look at upgrading equipment a little bit. Vastel. Let's upgrade Vastel's weapon and armor. And I'd say that's enough spending for now. It's time to go on a quest. I'm planning on spending a good portion of this episode building up a new team, because we're at the point where most of our heroes are approaching champion level, but we have a lot of veteran level bosses to take on. So let's see, who do we want to bring? I definitely want to bring our new, yeah, I'm not sending you on a medium difficulty mission. We want to bring the Arablest. You know, I'm gonna try that. An Arablest, and then an Occultist in center front. Because the Arablest can do any of her abilities from all the way in the back. And then okay, this team is incompatible with the Jester. Let's see, Vastel really wants to be all the way in the front. Since Iron Swan can only be used in the front. Though Iron Swan is the only ability she loses by being in position 2. And then I can bring Bowen, who only loses Purge. I'll place Bowen in position 1 and Vastel in position 2, and she can move forward if we're in a situation where I really need to use Iron Swan. And this looks like a viable team. So I'm gonna drop Blind Fire for Sniper's Mark, and I'm actually fielding a occultist who does not have Weakening Curse or Vulnerability Hex, despite those being my two favorite occultist abilities, but this is going to be a kind of experimental team. Let's see, we could do Let Sleeping Evils Lie, which involves gathering 3 Ancestors' Relics, and will give us a special town event, but I don't know what that town event does. It also gets us the Longevity Eye Patch, which is pretty good, but I think we already have one. And I don't think we can equip 2 to a single Man-at-Arms. We can have a short mission that would get us the Sturdy Greaves, which gives the Aura Blessed move resistance and increased move skill chance. What move skills does the Aura Blessed have? Bola, which can throw enemies backwards. Or alternatively, we can get an Archer's Ring, some portraits, and just do a scouting mission in the Weald. I think I'm actually going to go with the Weald one because we really need to work on building up our experience level in the Weald and the Warrens, but there isn't a novice mission in the Warrens right now. So, short mission or no, let's do this. Definitely want another medicinal herbs. Handful of torches. A couple of shovels. Plenty of anti-venom. Few bandages. Not as many. A couple of keys and some food. 12 food should do. And that should be plenty for a short mission, especially a short novice mission. Well, let's see what fate has in store for us this time. And I feel like the game is already telling me I made a mistake for only bringing 8 torches. Hey, Mr. Loading Screen, you should see the times I bring 0 torches. If I can survive that, I can survive 8.
I knew all these paths once. Oh. Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions.
That was so... that was some scouting! We now know the majority of the map. I think we are going to have to go to the end here. Or at least go to one space away from the end. Mummified remains. I can't really afford to use a shovel. Not really sure what to do with that. We do have an obstacle.
Nature
that would
herself,
be a shovel.
a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
You know, a few episodes ago, I would have made fun of...
lit. The path is clear.
A few episodes ago, I
require only the strength to follow it.
I would have made fun of the ancestor for ascribing intent to nature. Now I'm not so sure. Also, if I dig up this shallow grave, we'll have to go through the obstacle with our hands unless we're lucky enough to find another shovel. But honestly, I'm going to do it anyway. The rewards are good enough, and all that digging through the obstacle will do is inflict some stress and some health damage, which we can manage.
Glittering
Yep,
gold,
money and
trinkets
crests.
and baubles, paid for in blood.
Alright, and now we're to this room. Any scouting? Scouting! Let's see if there's anything in this room. Room battle with treasure. Okay, we're going. I wanted to see the scouting because if it turned out that there was nothing here, I would just turn and go the other way. Okay, what's this get us? And anti-venom. It's nice to have the
A fortune
interactions
waiting
worked
to be
out.
spent.
700. You know, I appreciate your enthusiasm, Mr. Ancestor, but 700 gold is really not
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Alright, Damon's Pole. Oh, it didn't land. Eldritch Pole did, though. Oh, let's hit the Acolyte with Sniper's Mark, then. Oh, these guys only have 10 health. I think I can get them both with heal. Or I can get neither of them with you. I
Impunity.
can do that, though. Of course, that's the one that fails. Well, move yourself forward one. Move yourself backward two, and we're back into formation. And let's try out Sniper Shot. You know, not bad for being completely unupgraded.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And he'll bleed for a little more, but let's try out Weird Reconstruction. That was underwhelming. Also, oh right, you can resist the bleed effect of Weird Reconstruction. Well, let's go with Battlefield Bandage.
A momentary abatement.
I feel a little better that I'm at least not completely reliant on Weird Reconstruction. We have other healing options, and so I feel a little more comfortable putting that ability through its paces.
Give them no quarter.
Alright. That was easy. I didn't even realize that was a trap. I thought it was a curio. Otherwise I would have had somebody else disarm that. All Rabid Nashers. This is going to be interesting. And they're just beasts, so... Okay. Well... Sacrificial Stab didn't finish the job. The bleeding finally stuck. It took a few tries. Alright. Let's just use Sniper Shot on the one all the way in the back. I was hoping that would do more damage. And let's see if it bleeds, gives me the same performance as last time. Not quite, but it is bleeding for 2. And Hugh should take both of these down. Or neither of them. It could take neither of them down. Fortunately, these guys don't really inflict that much damage. I mean, they inflict bleeding that can add up after a while, but even so. So I think we're at the point where this warrants Adrenaline Rush. And... not having the best luck with Weird Reconstruction this fight. Not having the best luck with Hugh either. It is just not my day.
Their formation
that worked.
Broken. Maintain the offensive.
I mean, it's supposed to be able to do as much as 13.
Great is the weapon that cuts.
Of course,
on its own.
Hugh is supposed to be able to hit things. Well, you know, I just realized I can see their stats on my screen, or well, I just remembered that. I knew that, I just didn't think about it. And I'm seeing that they have dodge of 15. And in all honesty, I really should not be surprised that I'm having trouble hitting them with the lever.
Another abomination cleansed from our land.
Honestly, I should have known better. Okay, and Weird Reconstruction is finally doing its thing. May as well just use Battlefield Bandage, since I don't think the Aura Blessed can hit something in position 1. The Hellion can, though. Alright, got a bit more gold and a chest. And I seriously doubt this thing interacts with bandages, which means it doesn't interact with anything we have. Alright. And let's just bleed our way back in the other direction. Yeah, I really need to learn to actually check the probability that an attack will hit before I use it.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Because I have that information on my screen once I've selected an attack. And it's especially important with a hero like the Leper, who, for all of his admirable qualities, does not really have the best accuracy. Also, the downside to a situation like this is that with all the backtracking, the heroes are just going to be gradually accumulating stress as we amble our way back on course. Of course, there was going to be backtracking no matter what. And we're going to have a hallway battle up here. I wonder if it'll be more rabid gnashers. Or if they've got some other kind of horror for us to deal with.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
50 gold. You know, sometimes I feel like the game is mocking me. Oh, ectoplasm. This is going to be easy. That's
Another one falls.
Alright, just gonna stick to battlefield bandaging. And what are the odds that this will hit 80%? Well, I landed on that 1 out of 5. Alright. Combining weird reconstruction with the increased healing chance. And there we go. No loot at all.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Right. And yeah, we don't have a shovel, so we're gonna.
Tools of iron. You must rely on flesh and indefatigable purpose.
Yep, we've already got one hero who's gonna need some stress treatment. Still have no idea how to interact with this. I suppose I can try a bandage. Ooh, that's it. It's a bandage. Okay, I know that now. I'm also gonna just feed a couple of people to do a little bit of healing. Weird reconstruction is not a bad healing ability, but it's kind of high risk. Oh, these guys. We are about to be gravely nibbled. Alright, that's one.
Onslaught. Destroy them all.
And if Hugh hits 2 of them, it will kill 2 of them. 80% to hit. Apparently not. Alright. Well, at least they're also missing. I feel a little better about that.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Alright. And sacrificial stab on the one that will definitely die. That was the right choice. If I targeted the full health one, it would have survived. And now it's Vastal's turn to miss something. Well, let's see about Chop. Okay.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And we have turned this into a no-torch run again. And we have the Blackest of Fates number 5 again. That sounds like a really depressing concerto. The orchestra tonight will be playing the Blackest of Fates number 5. But since our inventory is nowhere near full, we can actually take that one back with us. That'll be nice. I may do a dramatic reading of those at some point, once we've collected more of them. But it looks like we're going to end up with 0 torchlight if this keeps up much longer. I do see what they meant, though, talking about the Weald having a lot of winding hallways. What they mean is the actual distance between rooms is larger in the Weald than it is in the other areas. And Journal of Darius, the Highwayman. Rare are travelers on the roads this autumn, and rather than starve, I already read this message and then forgot that I'd read it. Well, it's another one that we can kind of get off the books. And I think we're there. Yep. Even at almost... Yes, in theory, we could run into a shambler because I'm doing this, but I'm going to see what's in this last one.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Okay. Left luggage. Skeleton key will open that. Okay. Fingers crossed that we don't run into a shambler. Okay, just these guys. These guys are a little more manageable. Alright. That's one down. Unfortunately, they're really fast. And our Arablest is gonna definitely need some stress treatment. Okay, that missed. Alright. And sniper shot also missed, though it is pitch black, so I shouldn't be surprised. In hindsight, I probably should have used chop. Fortunately, the Weber hasn't really done its thing yet and marked anymore.
And panic.
Alright. See if you can remove one of them. Well, you tried. Admittedly, if I were fighting in complete pitch blackness, I probably wouldn't be able to hit any of these people either. Okay, there. Let the Hellion show you all how it's done. And Bowen, I really don't know why I expected anything different from you. Alright, that just leaves the one spinner. I'm pretty much just ignoring the blight damage at this point because there isn't that much of it, and, wait, I have had Rallying Flare this entire time. I could have increased the torch level to, wait, this doesn't the torch level doesn't affect our... Oh, it probably does affect our accuracy. Wait, but... Nothing...
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Nothing in the description suggests that hero accuracy is reduced when the torch level is low. So never mind about the torch level, you guys are just idiots. Alright, I'm gonna drop the 25 gold for the citrine. And... back to the hamlet.
Every cleared path and charted route reduces the isolation of our troubled estate.
And we made a little bit of gold. Oh, the last few bits were all the valuable stuff. We made a pretty respectable amount of gold and a pretty okay number of heirlooms. But what I'm really in it for comes now. Increasing resolve levels. And Vastal is ready to go on another mission. And is afraid of the cove, apparently. Gillian has reduced virtue chance. But... oh, ho, ho, oh. I believe the other occultist already has this, but I think I'm going to be locking that in. To plus 10 accuracy versus Eldritch, plus 5% critical versus Eldritch on the guy who already has sacrificial stab. That's getting locked in.
Their customs are curious, and their generosity is notoriously short-lived.
Okay, so the Nomad is offering us a discount. Oh, okay, Sanitarium. And... Gillian. How much would it cost? 37... Now that I see how expensive that would be, I'm not entirely sure with how little gold we currently have. Before I do any of that, I am going to quick get my highly stressed heroes some treatment. And Bowen, what is his stress level? 51. Yeah, I'm going to put him in too. And let's see what the Nomad Wagon has for us. Cursed Incense is pretty good. Bloody Dice is also pretty good because the Jester learns some pretty impressive bleed abilities. Like Slice Off and Harvest. Though the downside is that both can only really comfortably hit positions 2 and 3. Though the aiming on a lot of Jester abilities in general is quite weird. Honestly, because of the aiming of the Jester bleed abilities, I'm not really sure. Life Crystal, on the other hand, could be very useful in the hands of a hero who already has a high base HP, like a Man-at-Arms or a Bounty Hunter. So I think I'm going to get the Life Crystal. And let's see, Vastel didn't actually gain a Resolve level. Let's see. I think I want to upgrade If It Bleeds. That does a lot of damage. An Adrenaline Rush, actually leveling up Adrenaline Rush increases the size of the damage buff. I think I want to upgrade that too. Let's see about Lulier, because she's probably going to be brought on the next mission. And let's upgrade the basics. Divine Grace, Divine Comfort, Dazzling Light, and Divine Comfort again. Let's see. And let's see about upgrading the Jester. Let's upgrade Inspiring Tune, Harvest, and how much bleeding damage does Slice Off inflict? 3 points for 3 rounds is a lot of bleeding damage. And let's upgrade Harvest and Slice Off. Alright. And that's all the spending, and so let's start on another mission. Maybe a slightly longer one. And we've unlocked another boss. We can take on the upgraded version of the Hag. Not this time. I am going to put the Occultist back on the bench to bring out the Jester. And he would really, really like to be in position 3. So that raises the question of who goes in position 1. It's pretty easy to say that Lulier should be in position 4. But who would be a good fit for position 1 who is available and has Well, I could put her in position 1 and find someone who fits position 2. Let me see. Fairfax would lose Fortifying Vapors, but would only lose Fortifying Vapors. Alternatively, Tourneville would actually be greatly diminished if he was in position 2. Columbell would be good if she knew Pick to the Face, so... Okay, and knock down the shrines isn't bad, but it gives us the Gambler's Charm, which is minus 10% death blow resistance. For plus 15% maximum HP. We just got a Life Stone that gives us plus 20% max HP for, I think, a reduction in speed. No. Let's see, Surgical Gloves could be pretty good, possibly in the hands, or rather on the hands, I suppose, of a, what's he called? Of a leper. Alternatively, we could get a Caregiver's Convention, which I believe is the one that results in treatment in the sanitarium being free, and also get a Worry Stone, which increases virtue chance and reduces stress. I think I'm going to go with that one, and I think I'm going to bring Fairfax. So, let's outfit everybody. Unequip all trinkets. Let's see, what do we got that's good for a Hellion? The Martyr's Seal is good for a Hellion. The extra firepower at death's door is quite nice, and the extra death blow resistance at max HP is also quite nice. And fitting with the Martyr's Seal, let's go with the Focus Ring. Increased accuracy and critical chance at the expense of evasion. That's a very Hellion ability set to have. The Bag of Marbles. And you know, the Dodge Stone for a further increase to dodge. Let's see, do we have any good Jester specific equipment? Let's see. Could have sworn we did, but it looks like we don't. But you know, the Crescendo box is pretty nice for someone like the Jester. And you know, Book of Constitution increased blight and disease resistance since we're going into the Warrens seems like a good idea. And for the Vestal, obviously no other option than Tome of Holy Healing and Sacred Scroll. Alright, bring some torches. This is a medium-length mission, so let's bring 12. A couple of shovels, maybe a couple more keys, handful of medicinal herbs, little holy water, lots of anti-venom, and a decent amount of bandages, and food. Lots of food. Drop 1 holy water for a little more food. Drop 1 anti-venom for a little more food. Drop 1 more anti-venom for a little more food. Yeah, our funds are stretched a little bit thin right now. That's why we're bringing in Antiquarian. Embark. And I only brought 8 torches. No, I brought 12 torches. Yes, I literally managed to forget the number of torches I brought in seconds. You wonder how I keep forgetting.
Our land is remote and unneighbored. Every lost resource must be recovered.
It's how quickly I managed to forget that. Is it any wonder that I occasionally accidentally bring 0? Alright. And let's see what we get when we dig up a grave. Quite a bit.
Gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
No enemies, but medicine. Well, I definitely made the right choice coming this way. Though, this is somewhat of a challenging layout for the kind of mission that we're on. There's gonna be some backtracking. I hope you brought your walking shoes. I walked past a curio. And, yep, an old tree. This could be good. Plenty of loot. I wouldn't mind finding more shovels. I wasn't expecting to need them that quickly. And bandits. Well, it's harvesting time. And yep, we're in the cozy embrace of blanket fire. Yeah, everybody's health is already a little low. Oh, 10-point critical healing. Well, I don't like being hit by blanket fire, so Iron Swarm.
Decimated.
I really like having a Hellion. Hellions are fun. And the Jester should be able to kill the these two guys on his next turn by himself, so we just need to take out the one in front. Well, Judgment. Let's start with that. You would get one last blanket fire in. Festering vapors. Wicked hack.
Confidence
And that's the end of
surges
him.
as the enemy crumbles.
And now, Harvest. And he's bleeding for 4. On his next turn, that happens. And we got a minor antique. And we already have to drop something. Oh, the jade is what's getting dropped. Though, inventory management's going to be kind of challenging on this mission, what with the medicine and the secret room that we're going to have to come back for. Yeah, I'm going to come back to that secret room when our inventory is a little bit more empty. In the meantime, we're going down this way. I have to mostly circle back anyway because I have to check what this curio is in case it's medicine. We have another fight, and the debuffs from the previous fight haven't ended yet. Let's see what Harvest can do to these guys. It can do a lot, as it turns out. Well, since we can easily take out the last one, let's get some healing in. Okay. The Antiquarian doesn't even really need to do anything.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And that is how we do that.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Let's drop citrine for deeds. For the moment, heirlooms are still more valuable than money. That will actually probably change at some point. Okay. This is my mummy, and I have bandages.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
And I'm okay with losing out on the Blightstone, especially since we already have one. I already have 2 rare antiques. Oh, this is gonna be a thing. This is gonna be a thing. Okay, what's your bleed resistance? Not very much. Alright?
The blood quickens.
Alright, just gonna dazzling light the
The way
scratcher.
is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
So I actually want to take out the artillery. Okay. Because we need to take away their ability to mark people. We need to take that away quickly. The artillery needs to die as soon as possible. Fortunately, they marked the person with the highest evasion. That's helpful. And they can also do that. That's another reason why we need the artillery gone. Okay. Oh, let's see if I can get rid of this one. Ooh. Ask and ye shall receive. The artillery is basically done. Alright. Let's see if I can stun the cultist. Begone, foul thing. That leaves just the Scratcher, who will target the Antiquarian. Not great.
This
Survive.
is how a life is taken.
That did a lot of damage. Well... Oh, Battle Ballad works on everyone. For some reason I was expecting it to only affect one person. Really powered up Nervous Stab. And the Antiquarian is in a bad way. Well, Divine Grace heals for a lot. I was not expecting it to do that!
Continue the onslaught.
Divine Grace healed for more than the Antiquarian's maximum hit points. Twice! Okay, Lulier, you are in line for a promotion. You've been great. You've been a treat this mission. Found a lot of stuff. there anything we can drop for that portrait? Honestly, there's nothing in our inventory right now that I'm willing to drop for one portrait. Oh, let's reduce the stress of the Jester. By a lot, apparently. And we got a room battle with treasure. And a hallway battle with these guys. Let's see if you can one-shot me. You cannot. Now it's Dazzling Light the one all the way in the back.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted.
Let's see if you can. Yep.
Clear.
Not terribly surprised that the Hellion can do that. And that just leaves the one rabid Nasher gets to attack.
The tide turns.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly, narrator.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And I'm actually going to use Inspiring Tune on the one person with a meaningful stress level. And let's just quick heal the Jester back up. Unfortunately, the Nasher gets one last attack. Fortunately, that one attack missed. Still not sure how it's possible for a dog to miss, but I'm grateful for it. And that is the end of that. Now
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
We've already accumulated a lot of gold. Now we got a beast carcass. And we can't really carry the food, so let's just eat it. I hope you guys really trust the medicinal herbs, because otherwise you're gonna catch something really, really nasty. Food poisoning is no joke, people. Food poisoning is no joke. But, leaving those 3 foods behind. Let's see what's in here. Ooh, ectoplasm! Well, let's see if ectoplasm bleeds. It does not. Well, obviously their bleed resistance is only 60%. They can bleed, but they didn't. Alright. Not having the best luck today. Well, not having the best luck this fight. Alright. There we go. You're the one I can always rely on in times of trouble, Bastel. And... and the Jester has reclaimed his honor.
This expedition at least promises success.
Let's see what we get in here. Crests and dropping the onyx for the emerald because it's objectively superior. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. What? And move up to here. I am coming back for that secret room, but I may actually come back towards the end of the quest when I can, when the inventory is more empty and when I can afford to dump some of the supply items. Okay, and another journal page with another one we have read before. For another stack of crests, I'm willing to drop the holy water. I'm not dropping the skeleton key because I know that the secret door leads to a room where I can use a skeleton key. So I know I have use for at least one yet. Okay, brigands! Oh! It's harvest time. And I don't feel like being hit by blanket fire, so dazzling light. And ha ha ha! I figured something like that would happen.
Diminished.
And let's see if Cannaville can finish. Essentially, yeah. Oh, may as well use Adrenaline Rush then. Critical Adrenaline Rush, that's nice. And I can finish him off with another stab.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Do I keep the busts or do I drop the busts? I'm gonna hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to him. Yeah, I'll drop the anti-venom. Bit of a high-risk move, but I'm willing to take that risk. The only blighting attack we've seen so far is Rain of Blight. And we found another medicine, so I'm gonna have to drop something. For that, yep, each medicine occupies a separate inventory space. I guess I'll give up the emerald. Okay. And you know what? Let's make camp. We're doing pretty okay for resources, but we've already found 2 of the 3 medicines, and I want to have inventory space for what's in that secret room.
Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
And I don't have Sanctuary. So we have her sharpen the spear. And then I'm going to use Every Rose Has Its Thorn to reduce everyone's stress. And I may as well use Chant. Actually, no, I should use Bless on the Hellion. And I may as well use Pep Talk on, let's give it to the Antiquarian. And we may end up getting ambushed. Let's find out.
The match is
Nope.
struck. A blazing star is born.
No more Midnight surprises. Who has the highest trap disarm chance in this team? I would bet the Jester, who has 40%. Though that's actually a tie with the, I want to call her an Arcanist for some reason, the Antiquarian. And we have heirlooms. And it looks like I'm going to be doubling back on to get the secret room anyway. Because we're back to being out of inventory space. So yeah, I'm probably just going to come back for this last after we've found everything else, so that I can afford to dump the supply items, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to make space for that. So, after the completely unnecessary loop, back to the other part of the dungeon. Yep, these quests do kind of have a downside to them. Let's see, another curio, a grave. I don't feel like risking digging a grave without a shovel. That's just... Grave digging without a shovel is just asking for zombies. Ooh. He failed.
Watch your step.
He did at least resist the blight, though. Yep, I guess ectoplasm does bleed. Alright, that's one ectoplasm out of the fight. That's the other one out of the fight. And finish the job with the attack.
Back to the pit.
And that is the end of them.
Seize this momentum. push on to the task's end.
And the rest of the dungeon is actually pretty straightforward. Old tree. We don't have any anti-venom, so I'm out of luck on that. Well, that's the end of our food, but it means we have more inventory space. We're also nearing the end of our torches. Again. Alright, successful scouting. Okay, so we want to go up to this room, but not into it, since there's no treasure in here, but there is treasure leading up to it. And it's just a crate with heirlooms. I find it hard to complain about 4 crests, but I'm not fighting an unnecessary room battle just because the enemies might drop something. So back up, back the truck up, we're going the other way now. I love how they walk backwards the entire way because they haven't mastered the subtle art of turning around. Alright. Let's find antiquarian thing. Let's find some things to kill. And we found an unburnt torch just as we ran out of torches. The last medicine is going to be in this room all the way at the end, isn't it? I know that's the case because, well, the universe hates me. Or we just walked past it and I failed to notice. That's also possible. Alright. And the jester is stunned and marked. Alright. Got one of the Webbers with Wicked Hack. I should be able to get the other one with Judgment. Honestly, I could probably kill it with Dazzling Light. And that would also get us more torchlight. And that would have been really impressive if it had hit. Well, let's see if this does it. There we go. Hellion, once again, showing everyone how it's done. Oh, no, it's just a snub. We don't want to do that. We can do this, though. And 600 more gold. This has been a pretty profitable mission. Oh, nothing in this room. And lighting up our last torch, we proceed to the second to last room in the dungeon.
No
and everyone
force
takes
of will
damage
can
because of lack
overcome
of
a
food.
failing body.
Okay, we found the last one, and we even just created an inventory slot for it.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
However, I'm not bothering with the one curio in this hallway, but as long of a trip as it is, we are going back for that secret room. Frankly, the kind of gold that we can make on a novice difficulty mission is just too good to pass up. Now I just hope the torch level doesn't actually reach 0 before we get there. Though, I'm unsure. I feel like I've seen room battles respawn before, where a new room, or not room battles, but hallway battles respawn before, where a new hallway battle will appear in a hallway you've already passed through, but I might be remembering that wrong. I could have sworn I'd seen that happen at some point. Hunger again. I hope we don't lose anybody to hunger. And the significance of that is at torch level 0, there's a chance of running into a shambler anytime we would run into a normal hallway battle. And I do not want to fight a shambler right now. I would really like to avoid that. I probably will end up taking one on again with a stronger team, but everybody in this team is resolve level 1. We are not prepared to handle a shambler with these people. Alright, as long as we don't get hunger again, we should be okay. Alright. And we've essentially walked all the way back to the entrance of the dungeon. And skeleton key.
Wealth beyond measure.
Barristan's
Reward
head.
to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
2 trapezahedrons worth 3,500 each. And jade. I honestly kind of feel like it's mocking me. And you know what? The jade can stay. I'm leaving the jade behind. The head I can at least probably sell and also plus 25% protection is actually pretty good. Well, let's get out of here.
These tonics and herbs will stave off infection and neutralize contagion.
17,350 gold, mostly thanks to the antiquarian, and an additional cool 4,500 for the quest reward, and a pretty good haul of heirlooms for being a novice level quest. And Lulier is up to resolve level 3. Increased chance of winning while gambling. What does that do? What does winning while gambling do? Does that cause him to lose stress faster if he's gambling? And Fairfax is prone to investigating the dark arts. She's turning into someone who specializes in studying antiques, who is prone to investigating the dark arts. You're the ancestor, aren't you, Fairfax? And Vastal has reduced stress in the ruins. Though I don't entirely feel like Vastal needs reduced stress. She's on her second consecutive mission and hasn't reached 50% stress yet.
The preponderance of rare and exotic injuries makes this place perfect for the study of suffering.
Well, where is he? Gillian. Yeah, I want to lock in. Yeah, I want to lock in Eldritch Slayer. I do want to get rid of Light Sensitive later, but I believe locking quirks in is more expensive than getting rid of them. So, yeah. Let's look at upgrading some estate buildings. Let's see. Upgrading weaponsmithing to rank 5. Or, honestly, I'm okay with waiting on that. I want to upgrade this furnace so things cost less.
Fan the flames, mold the metal. We are raising an army.
And let's see. What else can I upgrade with my large number of busts? Reduce disease treatment cost. I don't quite have enough, you know. This could be very useful the next time we have a healer's convention. So I'm going to trade 1 portrait for 3 crests and get patient cells.
The front line of this war is not in the dungeon, but rather inside the mind.
In fact, since that applies to this week, I can lock in another positive quirk. Let's see if I have a pretty good one. So he already has Eldritch Slayer. Let's see. Tardive has hard-skinned and Sortival has unyielding, both locked in already. Fated. Chance to turn any miss into a hit. And Slugger are both pretty good for a man-at-arms. Not sure what specifically. I definitely want to lock something in or get rid of something. You know, a Plague Doctor doesn't take a lot of damage. Let me see. You know, Plague Doctor doesn't take a lot of damage, But even so, unyielding is such a good quirk, and he's going to be going into some boss fights. I think I'm going to lock in Bertrand's unyielding. Also, having both Slugger and Unerring is pretty nice, because it means he just has plus 10% damage, period. But I'm going to lock in Unyielding. Because, well, Unyielding is just a good quirk no matter what. Anyway, this is not actually the end of the episode, but we've been going for a while. I am going to get us a lovely fresh recording file in the hopes of warding off possible recording issues. So, I will be back in a moment.
My obsession caused this great foulness, and it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
Well, you can always, come back from the dead and help us solve this. I mean, Clarinel pulled it off. Yep, I'm back. Got a lovely fresh recording file. Oh, no, I don't want to cancel that. Let's place some people in stress treatment. And let's spend this wondrous bounty of gold. I should start preparing for the Necromancer Lord. What team would I bring to the Necromancer Lord? I'm imagining Sordeval, Basange, Vavasour, and Cardinal is probably the team I would use for the Necromancer Lord. So let's upgrade their skills. Let's see. Let's max out Rampart. Let's see. Upgrading Collect Bounty would increase its damage versus human. It would increase its accuracy and its critical hit chance. Upgrading Finish Him would increase the extra damage versus stunned enemies. Upgrading Mark would increase the amount that it reduces the enemy's proc. Let's level up Come Hither. Let's upgrade Come Hither a couple of times. And as for Vavasour, let's see. Upgrading Vulnerability Hex would only really increase its critical hit chance, which isn't really that meaningful since it does very little damage, and the amount that it reduces the enemy's evasion, which is somewhat useful but not amazing. Upgrading Weakening Curse, however, would increase the amount that it reduces the enemy's damage and protection. And upgrading Demon's Pull would increase the pull likelihood. Let's drop over to Cardinal, because if I haven't maxed out her healing abilities, I should. Divine Comfort and Divine Grace. And I'd say that's enough spending on the Necromancer Lord team because, well, I'm definitely going to do them, I'm not sending them out today. So, let's look at Vastal. Let's put a point into Iron Swan. And let's pop over to Blacksmith. And let's see, Vastal, yeah, she's still maxed out on all of her equipment. It's actually, let's see, Tourneville could really stand to have Noxious Blast if we're using him. And Fontemai. Let's see, upgrading Sniper's Mark increases the amount. It's the same as upgrading Vulnerability Hex, so not useless. It reduces the enemy's dodge more than Vulnerability Hex does. But Sniper Shot, upgrading Sniper Shot increases the damage bonus against marked enemies. You know, Suppressing Fire is probably a very good ability. It would allow me to punish enemies like those fungal artillery or bandit fusiliers. So that could actually be very useful. Bola could also be pretty useful. Let's see. Gillian is currently receiving treatment. Let's suppose I were to bring Patrius on a mission. He should have Vulnerability Hex. And now, actually, he should also have he has Weird Reconstruction. And now Fontemai Let's upgrade Battlefield Bandage. And I think I know which team I'm bringing on my next mission. And I just realized I have a whole bunch of gold I can still spend, and I should probably spend the rest of it. Oh, let's upgrade Phantomized Weapon. Let's upgrade Pornavil's Weapon. And we still have a bit more gold, so let's upgrade the oh, he can't because his resolve level is too low. However, 3,000 gold is kind of pushing it, but I think I'm going to do it. Let's upgrade Basange's weapon to the Bulwark. Or sort of all, I mean, his armor to the Bulwark. I got every part of that statement wrong. But because if I'm going to be sending him as the man-at-arms for the fight with the Necromancer Lord, I want him to be as durable as possible. Also, we have every furnace upgrade. So 3,000 gold is the least that upgrading someone's armor can cost. Someone's final armor upgrade can cost. Wow. Well, let's find ourselves a good, lovely final quest for today. Yep, you're going to be sitting this one out. I'm also not bringing a antiquarian. Instead, I'm bringing an Arablast, a Plague Doctor, who should have Noxious Blast instead of Emboldening Vapors, and a Leper along with my Hellion. Okay, that's the way I want it to be. Alright, let's look at placing some trinkets. Life Crystal's pretty good. And where were those Surgeon's gloves? Or did I not get those? Let's see. I don't remember. I must have passed on the quest that gave me those. Let's see. What do I have that would be good? Let's see. Something that can increase accuracy might be nice. Honestly, let's get the heavy boots, move resistance, and increased protection. Hellion, our apprentice Vastal, or I may have said that backwards, is already equipped properly. And let's see, the Blasphemous Vial, increased stress, but I think I'll accept it for our Plague Doctor. And yeah, I'll equip him with the Worry Stone to balance that out. Increased virtue chance and reduced stress. So his stress is only 15%. And for the Arablast, the Medic's Greaves, I was originally planning on bringing the... okay, this is embarrassing. I was originally planning on bringing the Cultist in position 3. And somehow, in the transition between the transition between two screens, I managed to actually forget which hero I wanted to bring. And that way, I can drop Sniper's Mark for suppressing fire and still benefit from, still use Sniper Shot because I now have an occultist to mark enemies. I completely forgot what I was doing. Alright, Gillian already doesn't have any trinkets equipped. So, let's see, what should I give you? Well, the obvious would be the Eldritch Killing Incense. I'm not allowed to equip 2 of those. What else? The Churgeon's Charm, since he is going to be using Weird Reconstruction. Also, he has Fragile. I should probably do something about that. Alright, so let's see. Weald or Warrens? We can get either the Agility Talon, which we already have one of, or the Sickening Satchel, which we already have one of, or the Bleeding Pendant, which we don't have any of, which would take us to the Cove, which would give us progress towards another boss, and would get us a trinket that the Hellion could benefit from. So yeah, let's go with the skirmish mission in the Cove. We still need to clear a path to some of those bosses. So let's do this. Alright, I'm not going to forget torches. I've done that enough times in this playthrough. Alright, a couple of shovels, some anti-venom, a few bandages. Don't need a lot of those. I don't need 3 medicinal herbs. I do need some keys though. A little holy water and a decent supply of food. 8 should do. And let's bring a little more holy water. And I'd say we're provisioned, at least for a short quest. Embark! Thralls will explode if left for too long. And don't I know it, I'm still having nightmares about the last time. Alright.
These salt-soaked caverns are teeming with pelagic nightmares. They must be flushed out.
I'm glad I brought 2 shovels! We have 2 obstacles in the same hallway! You can get through this hallway, you just have to really want it. Let's see who has the best trap disarm chance. I'm betting on the Arablest. The Occultist has the worst. Nope, it's actually a tie between the Hellion and the Leper. Okay, Brackish Pool. Anti-venom, but all it does is restores hit points and no one is damaged, so there's not much point in bothering. We can come back here, I suppose, if we need healing. Alright, our first room battle. We're gonna have the Hellion focus on taking out the Acolyte. And Vulnerability Hex on the Shaman. Would miss. Well, let's use Suppressing Fire then. And Chop on the Brawler. And miss on the Brawler. And that is why I was hoping to mark the Shaman.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Well, fine, be that way. Well, in that case, I'm going to use Vulnerability Hex on the Guardian. And it landed this time. And now, Sniper Shot. To do 5 damage. Well, that was underwhelming. Well, at least we're rid of the cultists, though. Octocestus. That hurt a lot. Well, I think it's time for weird reconstruction.
Momentary abatement.
And she even resisted the bleeding. For that last extra bit of damage, and to cure the bleeding, Adrenaline Rush. The damage boost will be nice, too. And let's just continue with Sniper Shot. Though, seeing as the extra damage that it deals to marked enemies increases as you upgrade the skill, Sniper Shot is going to be very impressive by the end. And these enemies are Eldritch. I always forget that the fish are Eldritch.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
It's another one for the out-of-context quotes compilation. I always forget that fish are Eldritch.
A faint hope blossoms.
Alright. And do not use holy water on this. Alright, got it. And now for the Hallway of Shipwrecks.
Another mariner? Another misfortune.
This is a really small dungeon. I mean, I know this is a short quest, but I wasn't really expecting it to be this short. Okay, what's this one get us? I have no idea, and I suspect that a torch would be a bad choice for this one. Alright. And with no oh, we do have scouting. And we've had some of the longest hallways ever exploring the Weald, and now we have the shortest hallway possible. And in the shortest hallway possible, we managed to find loot anyway. And it's the same one before, a trampled journal. Well, we'll probably get to keep it this time. So we have had a total of 1 room battle. We need to complete all of the room battles. There are at most 3 left. Whoa.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
And another note. They are sleeping. I am kept from slumber by a distinct stream of whispers as if carried by the currents and waves of the sea. I have not told them that most of my flesh is sloughed off, revealing a strange silvery membrane. I keep myself covered. They questioned me when I ate the meat raw at campfall and found my response difficult to understand. I suppose it would be best to explain my condition when they awaken. Then they would be convinced of my urgency to leave and find aid in the hamlet. Yeah, that's one of those situations where you probably should get professional medical attention. I mean, it may involve leeches, but it's the best you got. Right? And I believe that is one we've gotten before, but we are at least going to get to keep it this time. So, there are this mission to complete 100% of room battles means to complete 2 of them. Okay. We don't have any shovels, which is the curio interaction for this one. But we can still get a decent amount. And I didn't actually need to enter this room because it was... See? This is what I was talking about earlier. There wasn't a hallway battle, and there is now. So that can happen. I feel smart. I mean, if you've been following my decision-making through this series, you realize I shouldn't feel smart, but I feel smart! And the Hellion stress level is starting to get a little high. Well, Vastal, take out your frustrations on the brawler. Ooh, that was nice. So was that.
Destroy them all.
And for my next trick, slightly less damage than I was hoping. Pretty good though. Well, that'll do.
Broken.
And that just leaves chop and miss and wicked hack. And it didn't. Okay. Fontamai, you're gonna have to clean up after your teammates. There we go.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Alright, one last hallway battle. Up, we got one of these. I have a plan. Let's see if I can make that plan work. Start with vulnerability hex. But it has 14 hit points. Its dodge is now down to 0. That's good. Which means we need to soften it up a little bit. And this is the moment when I remember that Sniper Shot cannot hit people in position 1. Oops. Well, let's use Battlefield Medicine and cross my fingers that Bowen can hit something.
And improvement.
He cannot. Okay, let's at least hope no one dies from this. Alright? Okay. Sorry, my voice got a little loud there. Vastal has risen to the occasion. Ooh. Bowen's health is getting a little low, though. Alright, now all we have to deal with is the grouper. Unfortunately, the grouper by himself still kind of is a lot. May as well use some healing abilities for a moment. Alright, and now he's bleeding for 1 point for 3 rounds. I really should have just used Solemnity. I should have known Chop would miss. I mean, that's what you get for assuming that the leper can hit something.
Seize this momentum.
Now we found another shovel. Not much point in holding on to it, though. There's no use for the skeleton keys, so let's drop those. You really should have known better. Also, that would have been a great use for the shovel I just threw away. Another one of those moments where I feel like the game is mocking me. Ooh, that's a lot of stress. That too is a lot of stress. Well, let's see if we can remove the shaman in one hit. We can! I'm gonna try the same thing on the Acolyte next turn. Ow. Ow. Adrenaline rush. Let's at least remove the bleeding, and the damage buff can be pretty useful. Almost got the cultist. And Bowen is bleeding more now. Okay, Eldritch Push. That could be a real problem. But you resisted it. Well, I'm tired of you being able to do that, so you're marked now. And if it bleeds. Alright, sniper shot. Let's see if we can one-shot the Acolyte. Almost. I really have no one to blame but myself. The Cultist Acolyte has 1 hit point left, so the Guardian steps in with Barnacle Barrier. I really have no one to blame but myself in this situation. Though I can undermine that. 26 damage with a critical. First, let's just damage the Guardian. I can hit the Guardian, even though he's in position 1 with Sniper Shot, because he will intercept shots aimed at the Cultist. But I want the Cultist to die, and now the Guardian and the Cultist are in positions 1 and 2 respectively, so huge. And it even hit this time. Alright, and that ends the fight. I mean, there's still some mopping up we need to do, but...
These nightmarish creatures,
and that ends the quest!
Killed. They can be beaten.
And we ended up having to go to every single room anyway, so... may as well return to the hamlet.
At last, wholesome marine life can flourish. If indeed there is such a thing.
You can shut it with your strange opinions on the topic of fish, man. Honestly, you know what? Never mind, actually. Don't stop talking about this. Mr. Ancestor, I actually really want to know, what did marine life do to you that you have such a prejudice against it? I would really like to know. Either way, actually got a decent haul of heirlooms for that. And Vastil is resolve level 2 now. And her stress level is... Vastil's stress level is 99! 99! That was very close to her becoming afflicted.
In time,
you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Well, Vastal, you've performed well. You've managed to be part of every mission we have gone on. So, take some personal time. You've earned it. I think Patri is okay. He's the other one who is comparably stressed, but he's okay. Patri and Bowen, I think, are both okay to go on another mission. However, after our third quest of the day, this is going to be the end for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.